It would God, that's so fucking hard. Oh my God, it's so sad. Like,
Dear old me, I miss you. You were so simple-minded. You had simple goals. You just wanted to be the best version of yourself for your own sense of peace and well-being.
I'm not complaining that life has changed. As much as I love how life is now, I occasionally miss the simplicity and the way you viewed life.
you never reached your potential, but you were contented. As much as I love the opportunities and popularity, sometimes I miss the microcosm of the world you lived in.
I miss you, but I don't need you anymore.
To be honest, I'm the kind of person, maybe I'm the same as him when he was young. I have clear goals in the future and want to achieve them. Maybe I'll change as well in the future, but I think I can recognize myself in the first half of the story.
I think everyone feels that way, right? Even for me, I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 5 years, and after working the pandemic, I feel like I lost myself in a lot of ways. Even getting married, I just recently got married. I feel like when you go into a different transition in a different chapter in your life, you always miss the person you were. But the thing is, what people don't remember is that you can always go back to those things. You know, you can always go back to the simplicity of it. It's the way we think and the way we view the world. We can always get back there.
That's crazy. I feel like this is me, like young, and then like I grew up. Because when I was so young, I was like in this direction. It was just like going to school, you go to college, you get a job and everything. And then you actually start living life and you realize that life is just not so one way and there's so much to it. And life is better as you grow up.
I think this person has gone through a lot. So I think I can relate to the person.
Dear Rami, it's been 10 years since you passed, and this year I will be celebrating my 30th birthday without your presence.
I'm amazed how I've gone through the past 10 years without you around physically.
But somehow I also feel that you must be watching me from somewhere far, far away.
The hole in my heart that you left did not get smaller, but I was able to fill it with other things and memories that I experienced in my last 10 years.
I still think of you every day, and I still want to thank you for everything, and really hope we can meet again one day.
I feel like this really hits me home lah. Because it's been almost a year I lost my grandma. My grandma was everything to me lah. Because growing up, my mom being a single parent, my grandma always took care of me and my siblings. So when she passed, it was really hard for everybody lah.
Me and my mom don't have like the best relationship that people think, but we have our own certain relationship. But in the end, we are each other's like best friend. And even though it seems like we're always fighting, it would kill me when she's gone. But she will always be there with you. She will always be there with you.
Man, the fact that you just turned 30 and I did, and I'm reading this, that's a very surreal experience. I feel very close to you when I read this. I feel like when people lose someone, whether it's someone they just had met, a friend, a family member, it's hard to fill that void. But I think just the process of living and not leaving yourself behind in that moment is what people start to appreciate. I think it just goes back to me being a caregiver and a nurse. I see so many lives pass every day, and it's just made me appreciate life more. And I'm happy that you're able to somehow fill it, because I don't know what I would do if I lost either of my parents, and I'm lucky to have 4.
I hope you have been well. I still think about you from time to time. Seem to still be on the back of my mind whenever I am busy.
But once I lay down to rest, there you will be, just looking at me in my mind. And even though we haven't spoken or seen each other in 7 months,
I still can clearly see your smile and hear your laughter in my head, as that's all I have left of you.
I still miss you, but someday maybe I will miss you without feeling the pain and the heartache. I still carry a Polaroid of you in my left chest pocket, wherever I am.
I will look at it and just end up smiling. You still have the ability to make me smile even when you're no longer by my side. I often think about lifetimes, but if you ask me, I'm satisfied with this life as I got the chance to have shared it with you.
Thank you for sharing your life and experience with me, even though we didn't make it to the happy marriage we always talked about.
I know you'll find the right guy who can love you better than I ever could.
I will always be cheering for you and loving you without fail, but now it will just be from a distance.
Please take care of yourself, my dearest Jay. Ever grateful. Oh my god, it's so sad.
Sounds like Jay lost the right person in her life. I don't know why. But when you actually break up from a relationship and talks about her ex-partner like this, I think they should have actually worked out. They should have found a way to work out together. I think they really missed a chance here.
You're gonna come across so many people in your lifetime with just dating around, and those people will always leave a story within your heart, you know? And you always think, oh, this is the person you're gonna be with, this is it. And sometimes things just don't work out, but you're gonna realize later on that person was just a person in your life to share a certain chapter, you know? But you are gonna have a better life. Because that person, if they were meant to be for you and meant to be with you, they would stay there. But if not, they're just a chapter. And they're just gonna teach you a lesson. Everything's a life lesson.
In some ways, like, distance is what you're gonna need, and sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. But I do hope you find your person, and maybe the same person will find you again. One thing I learned from my friend, who keeps falling in love over and over again, even though I'm the one that says, don't keep putting your heart out there, she always tells me why. She says, why, when we have the capacity of the heart to love and to keep giving it with no reserve? And I think about that a lot. So as long as you keep moving forward and finding that love, they'll find you back. But man,
It hasn't even been a year since you left, but it still feels like I haven't seen you in the longest time.
When I first heard the news about your cancer, I didn't know how to react. It was confusing, but you were never really in my life ever since you left.
But at the same time, I knew I was going to lose you again. And this time, it was for good.
I guess a part of me have always imagined we could reconnect when I was old enough, but life didn't give us a chance. I spent every day as a kid wondering if you would ever come home until I finally gave up. I never grew up despising you, but I could never understand why you did what you did.
Before I left for my trip, I told you I would see you when I'm back. But before I knew it, the cancer won, and I didn't even have the chance to say goodbye.
You held on until the very moment my plane landed, and a part of me felt that you knew I was home before letting go.
I'm glad you're not in pain anymore, and I want to know that I forgive you for everything. It's been a long time since I said this. I love you, Dad.
God, that's so fucking hard.
It must be hard for the person. You didn't get to really say anything before he died fast. It's really sad.
I see my patients in this letter, and I see their families, and it is so hard, and it's really hard to cope. Especially, I have family with me who has died from cancer, but that's why you need to always love your family, say what you want to say, and don't hold anything back, because you never know when somebody's gonna go.
My parents divorced very young, and I guess I felt that way about my mom, because a lot of times when parents divorce, the dad doesn't ever win custody, but for this time my dad did. And at the time my mom was a young mom, she was single, she really wasn't involved in my life the way I wanted to, and in a way I also chased for that same feeling, and I was wondering why I never had a close relationship with her as much as my friends did. But then I met my stepmom, who gave me everything that I could have asked for. And so I hope you find a parent figure that does the same for you, because even if you don't, you can always fill that void with friends, grandparents, aunts and uncles. But I'm sorry you had to lose your dad that way. And I'm glad you never despised him and forgave him, because it really takes a mature and strong person to do that. Because I can tell you one thing, I grew up hating my mom, and it's not even till now, even as a 30-something, that I feel like there's still more to grow, but sometimes that person doesn't want to change even if you're willing to put the first hand first. Yeah. Okay, that was rough. I hate this.